Hello, everyone. Happy welcome to 2022. I pray this year be a year of progress, of joy, and peace in the Holy Spirit for you all. If you're watching me for the first time, my name is Victoria. I'm a midwife, childbirth educator, birth coach, and also I'm a doula. So if you have any pregnancy related, labor, childbirth questions for me, make sure that you leave them in the comments. Make sure that if you're watching this on Instagram or you're watching this later on YouTube, make sure that you give this a thumbs up, subscribe, and make sure you share with a friend. Today, we have an amazing person that will join us for this live video. And if you have any questions, even later on, we can even answer this in other videos. If you have any questions for her, make sure that you leave them in the comment and I'll make sure to send it to her and we'll answer them in other videos. Welcome to everybody. Let me know what you're thankful for. It's a new year. Let me know what you're thankful for. And yes, I'll be introducing to you midwife Ricketts, Nurse Ricketts. She's from Pregis Arena. And she's a very sweet, sweet person. She's a midwife, she's a nurse, and she's the owner, founder of Kia Cups. And I can't say the whole thing, so I'm going to have her say it. But it's a CPR and basic life support program that she does and runs. And she also teaches antenatal classes. So make sure that you are following her. And if you have any questions, like I said, make sure you leave them in the comments. And make sure you're giving this video lots of likes in the comment and let's know where you're watching from. So I'm going to invite Pregis to come right on and we're going to start. By the way, our topic today is a very fun one, is why men and women are to attend antenatal classes. Why is antenatal classes very important for both the woman and her husband? So you guys are going to love this, you're going to enjoy this, and it's going to be fun and very educative. So yeah, let us welcome our guest. I'm trying to right now, and yeah, exciting. Exciting. Let me know where you guys are watching in the comment, even if you're watching this on a replay. Hi, Nurse Ricket. How are you? So sorry we're starting late.
It's okay. Good to be here.
Good to see you. Can you introduce yourself a
Thank
little bit
you.
more? I know I butchered some of what you do. Can you tell us what you do so people can get to know you?
Okay, so Happy New Year to everyone who's watching. My name is Modupe Olufisoye, and I go by the name Nurse Ricket. So a lot of moms who I've worked with over the couple of years that I've had to work in the antenatal sector or in the maternal and child health sector know me as Nurse Ricket. Nurse Ricket. Ricket is my maiden name, so they knew me before I got married, and since then it's been Nurse Ricket everywhere. But I'm a childbirth educator and a midwife. And apart from that, I'm also an instructor of the American Heart Association. So I train healthcare providers and every other person in first aid, basic life support, and advanced cardiovascular life support. So that's what I do. Care Comes Mega Concepts is the overall company that does all of that. And Pregis Arena is one of us. Yes. So that's what I do.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a lot. So guys, if you are medical professionals here and you feel like you need to renew your, CPR, basic life support certification, she's the person to call. And you could reach out to her just right here on Instagram. All right. All right, Nasrika, thank you so much. Like I
Thank
can't
you.
start. There'll be a
It's
different
exciting to be
story
here.
about you. About yeah. There'll be a day
Oh.
story. But let's get started first with just thanks. What are you thankful for this year?
Wow. First, I'm thankful to God for life. It's been an amazing 2021, but I'm grateful that I'm alive to see 2022. Secondly, I'm thankful because every mom who I'm going to be coming across with in this year, I'm trusting and hopeful. I'm confident that every knowledge that they need, information they require for their pregnancy experience to be seamless, to be beautiful, to enable them make objective decisions as regards their own care. Um, I'm thankful that that opportunity is going to come in through and bigger this year, different
Yeah.
platforms, and I'm really thankful for it.
Amen. I love how you said your goals and your thankfulness together. That's amazing. All right. Let me just quickly share what I am thankful for. I'm thankful for God. I'm thankful that He's God. I'm a Christian and I'm proud of it. And I'm thankful for the opportunity to serve other people with the knowledge and skills that I have. And yeah, like you, I'm looking forward to the adventure and the growth this year has, in store, to challenge us and also to help us keep growing in our skills and also with the people we work with and the people we would serve. So yeah, I'm excited.
So
I really look forward to this year. Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be a beautiful year altogether.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
So before we start, why we're actually here, there's some people here, and I like to give shout outs to them. Mama Kukan, welcome, welcome. KK Ogu, I think that's Casey. Casey, welcome. Girly Keeper 3 and Igacity Femi. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Make sure you share this video. You can share it and make sure that we know where you're watching from. I know Igacity is watching from Nigeria. The rest of you, let us know where you're watching from. It really just helps keep the engagement going. And if you have any childbirth related questions for Nurse Ricket or for myself, leave them in the comments and we'll get to them before we round up the live video. All right. So Nurse Ricket, how long have you been doing this? How long have you been teaching antenatal classes?
Ooh, so let's see. Maybe I'll remember the date so we can walk through the math. All right. So since 2006, I've been facilitating antenatal classes, and that's how many.
That's a long time. I can't even do the math, but that's a long time.
But
Let's do the
it's been
math.
fun all
That's like
it's been
14
fun
years.
all thereabout. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I've had the privilege of working in different hospitals and then having to teach women, bring them together and then facilitate their classes and their journey through pregnancy. And it's been amazing over the years. It keeps getting better. Yeah, just find some moms coming back to class because you pull them through, you help them through the last part. Like, hey, please, I'm not that I'm not a first time mom doesn't mean that I know everything yet. Please remind me. Let's talk about it. So it's really
Oh,
been amazing. Yeah.
that's amazing. That's so amazing. I think it is such a blessing for me personally, being a newer person in the profession, to be able to work with someone like you that has a lot of experience in this. So I feel
I'm
very privileged.
hey, hold it down. I'm learning from you. I don't get that. Okay, I'm learning from you. You're doing great. You're doing amazing. So it's not about how new you are on the platform. It is how impactful you choose to be, which is the thing for me with you. That's the attraction for me. Like there's someone else who has this energy. So can we all drive this thing and push together until we're able to make great results? And kudos to you. Well done.
Oh, thank you. So, guys, do you see what I like her? Do you see? Can you just see what she just did right there? All right, let's keep on moving. Mama Kukan says, Nurse Ricket, I would love to meet you. So that's someone right there. And she's in Abuja. So I really hope you guys meet up.
Oh, that would be cool. That
So
would be
let's
cool.
let's let's define the term. Sorry guys, I just kept it moving. Sorry for cutting you short. I see more people coming in. Welcome. Let us know where you're watching from. Um, like I said, our topic today is why antenatal classes are important for men and women, for women and their husbands. So let's define the terms. What is antenatal? What's antenatal?
All right, so let's start from there. Antenatal care is this care that is given to pregnant moms, expectant moms, presumed healthy moms. Okay, so pregnancy is not a disease, it's not a problem. However, there's the required care that these moms need in order to detect the presence or a complication or a disease or an abnormality. Okay, so antenatal care, in one word, is the medical and nursing care that is given to a pregnant woman through that period of pregnancy until she puts to bed.
Amen. Wow, I'm saying amen. That's great. I don't know why I'm saying amen. Like it happens, right? Yeah. So I like the antenatal. So are you saying antenatal care is just for pregnant women?
So antenatal care under this circumstance is antenatal is ante before natal before delivery. So antenatal. There's prenatal before pregnancy. There's postnatal after pregnancy. So ante is like intranatal. No, anti is before natal. So intranatal will be at the delivery point itself. For antenatal, in specific terms, honestly, is for pregnant women and their spouses. So you see, that's why I use the word expectant couples. They
Mm,
are both of them are on this lane together. You can't separate them. You must learn to, and I think this is something that is coming up. Um, pretty. How do I want to put it? Pretty these days we have it more often that the men are getting involved in the antenatal care process, which is exciting for me. Before now, a man drives his wife to the hospital, drops her off and walks away. And we're done. Like when she's done with antenatal, when I'm done seeing the doctor, then he comes to pick her up. So it's becoming all inclusive. You can't separate the men from the women. Incidentally, do you know that when we're caring for the woman, we don't always speak to her
mm,
in labor? We
mm,
speak to the spouse, so he must be involved. He must know the details of the wife. He must have a clear knowledge of what she's been through, what the circumstance is at that time, and then he will also be able to guide her or work with her through that decision making process at any point in time where it comes. So it's for pregnant women, yes, but this time around you want to use an overall cap and say for expectant couples. So yes, the man and the woman involved in pregnancy. And
yeah.
no woman is pregnant all by herself, Dama.
I like that. I like that your last point when you said no woman is pregnant by herself. So it's the two that
Yeah,
created this baby, right? I like that.
sure,
I like
sure.
that. And I think it is exciting, especially here in Nigeria, to know that men also wants to be included because they are a big part of this process. And without them,
True,
their
true.
partner will probably not feel as great. Women need all the support, men need all the support they can get during pregnancy. Um, let's
True.
divert a little bit. So I was just with one of my friends. She's pregnant right now, and I got to spend some time with her. It actually inspired me to want to write a book about it, but that's a big surprise. But a book might be coming in the sometimes. Yeah, sometimes.
I look
But
forward to it.
thank you. Thank you.
I look forward
I'm
to
actually
it.
excited about it. I want to do it. But besides that, I lived with her and lived with several pregnant women. And it's different as a provider and as someone living with them in the house. One of the things I realized was on the bed, she takes like most of the space. And then I had to I couldn't sleep well because she needs all the space, for the growing bump, for the pillows between her knees, for one to hold. She turns a lot. She wakes up a lot to go and pee. And so I
Um,
was like, wow, this is what men go through. Like they don't have spaces to
okay, so
use
live
their
live
hands.
experience happening now.
Like, yeah, like, so I feel like it would be nice for men to be able to know that, okay, looking forward, my pregnant wife will need a bigger space. There'll be times she need, lots of pillows, or she needs to buy like a pregnancy pillow. Maybe we should invest in a bigger bed than just a smaller one, because of this. David, what do you think? What do you think? Have you had that experience before? Yeah.
So I'm privileged to have three children. and every pregnancy experience was different for me. Each one had a story, like each pregnancy had a story, and I can relate to what you're saying. Truly, we need to. It's okay to say that men need to come to terms with the new level. Couples in love, they get married, everything is all rosy and nice and seamless. Then pregnancy sets in and the story changes. They're like, hey, okay, so what should we do? So it can be very rocky, it can be very disturbing, but what's important is that the couple are able to speak about the new level they have attained and how to pull through together. And then a lot of consideration has to come in. The man has to be considerate of how she feels and the changes that are coming on the inside of her, and still love her for who she is, who she was when he got married to her. A lot of those changes can be very deforming, if you understand what I mean. And
Yeah.
so it's a lot. That's why this information has to go out, not just to the woman, but it has to go out even to the men. They need to come to terms with the new stage of this woman's reproductive life. And I think it's something we just need to keep pushing out there. However, I want to say to you that a lot of men these days are up and doing. So the interpretation of that is they're excited about the pregnancy phase of their wife's life. They're interested in her care. They're interested in her comfort. They're interested in her upkeep. They're interested in how she feels, emotional. I know all of those things can be very challenging. She's nice now. In the next minute, she's not nice. And the man is babe, please, 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 please. I'm not in the mood. I'm like, okay, all right. When you're in the mood, let me know. So some men are beginning to get very considerate with a lot of things that happen to women, and very honestly, I just think that we need to keep pushing this information out, keep pushing the fact that it's easy to pull through if the two work together. I've had to, on Pregnancy Arena, we have a few moms who are alone, they're single moms. So forgive the language, single moms. They're not married, but they're pregnant, and it's a bit challenging pulling through. And they're not an exception. They're
Mm,
important to us. We care about them. We
absolutely.
don't leave them out because we can't find the men beside them. So you see,
Course.
under the circumstance, you don't have a choice than to help her pull through. Okay, this is you by yourself, but you can do this. You can do this. As rough and as comfortable this journey feels, you can. So it's just a lot, but we need to keep pushing it out as much as we can, and that time is now. So
Absolutely. Wow. I like the dimension you brought into it of like, as a couple, it's very important that you work together on this new level you're on. And of course, communication helps with anything and everything. When you talk about
truly does.
it does really help. One other thing that
Yes, it
I
does.
really was very wild about is the emotions that men, of course, they have emotions as well, and sometimes it can be hard to, like, I don't know, like, talk about it, like, maybe for example, your wife is pregnant and maybe you don't find her as attractive, but you can't say that to her. You have to support her, you have to make her feel good and all of that. And I
True.
think that
True.
childbirth education, antenatal classes can help with these emotions when you are able to attend classes together.
Understand.
You're learning all these different changes. You're learning why she pees so much. You're learning about why she has all these emotional um,
True.
mood swings. You're learning about how big the baby is right now. You're learning about the warning signs and things like this. It would help even the man not to freak out or to be afraid of, like,
True.
what's gonna
True.
happen. Um,
True.
yeah, for me, I think it would really help men if they are able to come to childbirth classes. And I'm thinking, like, what do you think would cause, or why do you think men don't come on the usual basis? Because if you go to most hospitals, or at least the government hospitals, even some private ones, it's mostly women. It's like 98% women. You would not hardly find a man. What do you think can help with
Uh,
this?
okay. So I think there's the general conception that the antenatal classes are for the women. So the first is to let every expectant couple know that classes are for both of them. There are times where it's just a woman because she probably has her own lab, she probably has to do her scans, but even at that, the entire antenatal care. So outside the classes, the entire antenatal care itself. So having to speak with her doctor, all her routine medications, all her routine checks, all of it, having the man beside her is not a bad idea because he can relate with all the steps that are being taken, all the results of every step, and he becomes more knowledgeable about what his wife is going through. So I
Absolutely.
think it's just a general misconception that antenatal sessions are just for the women. So again, this puts in our hands as childbirth educators a lot of work to do. Find the men. Run. There are classes that are tailored towards the men. There are classes that are tailored towards women. But in most of it, those classes are meant for both of them. So secondly, I've had experience where men just come around and feel that the information in the class is for the woman alone. Go and learn what they are saying to you. I had
Mm,
I have a class currently in Abuja where there's a I think he's a lawyer. Is he a lawyer or a journalist? I can't remember the profession of this man. But from the very start point of his wife's antenatal, he drives her to the hospital. She comes out of the car. She comes to sit in class, and then he sits outside 2 whole hours until the wife is out. So one day I said to them, please, why the men? Why do you always come in? Like, why do you leave my guys out of this? Can you please bring them in? And in that day, they were like, they're outside. They was like, outside doing what? Please bring them in. And in that day, I had 6 men in class. I was like, whoa, what people sit down for? And since that day, those six, outside the six, every other lady who comes into class comes in with her spouse, except if he's unavoidably absent. That they will particularly say, sorry, my husband is not around today, he's at work. That's fair enough. But the
oh,
men are beginning to get interested in the information. They're like, so this is concerned on, this is a relatable, this is a things we can understand ourselves. You teach them care of the newborn, tell them this is how to hold the baby, this is what to do, this is how to deal with temperature issues. They're excited to know these things because there are times where they need to step in. Having a full
absolutely.
understanding of how to take care of or sort these things out makes it more comfortable. They feel more confident, swinging into action. As I get when they know nothing. And
Mm-hmm.
trust me, these days we have men who are interested in baby care. You need to see if
Absolutely.
you looked around social media, you have men who love their babies, who are feeding babies. So I think that the times and tide is changing. We have more men interested. If only they have the right information as to where to go to, how to connect with childbirth classes, so that all the information they need to be the superhero their wives need them to be, they can get it comfortably.
Absolutely. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing your personal experience. What I got from that was that it's just a misconception that people think antenatal classes are just for women.
I
Um,
just want
and
to.
before I go on with that, there are men. I know there are some men that are here. So if you have any questions, if there is any reason you think you would not go in with your wife when she's having antenatal classes, or for antenatal care, let us know in the comment. We want to, I know we're women, but we want you
We're
guys to
excited. We're
be
excited. We're
involved.
excited to have them around. In the first
I
place. We're
love that.
excited to
I'm
have them.
excited. So let us know in the comment, what are you guys thinking? Like, what do you think we can do better, as medical professionals and childbirth educators? Like, what can we do better that will make you guys want to come? Mama Kukon said, just like marriage class, couples have to attend together. I
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
agree.
I
Yes,
agree too. I agree.
all
I
right.
agree.
Going back to what you said, just kind of trying to summarize and get the main point. I like that experience you shared. I think sometimes you need other people to be the example, and it just takes one person. That change. One person comes,
Yeah.
and then it's like,
Yeah.
Hobby, you need to come, because all the men are coming, and then they will come. But an idea came into my mind when you were talking, that I wonder, the first time, now I'm speaking to Nigeria, which I don't understand. You have to please correct if I'm saying the wrong thing. Um, I wonder if when a mom comes to register for antenatal class, for sure, someone probably, maybe 50% of the time, brought her to that place. Maybe a mother, a friend, a husband. I wonder what she was told the first time, especially for first time mom. when she registered, are they told, okay, we have antenatal classes and it's for you and your husband to come? Or maybe they're not told that, they just register them and it's like, come for your checkup next week. And then they think it's just me, myself, and I and the baby. And so they don't know, because sometimes if you don't know, then you don't know. But if I think in my mind, if everybody knows that I'm pregnant now, my husband is to come as well, they will invite their husband to come. And I know it can look weird in a way if it's just my husband that is there and then no one husband is there, then the husband feels like, I'm the only one
I
here,
feel shy.
expectation or something. What would you say? Is it like that? Do you think it might be just because we're not saying it to women, or we're not saying, come, bring your husbands? That's why they're not coming.
I, I think there are two sides to it. There are two sides to it. One, as healthcare professionals, we need to share the entire information. This class is not just for you. Your husband needs to be around so they can learn all that they need to know. That's one angle to it. The second angle is the men being interested. So even if you are the only one, and I'm going with my wife, you can't separate me from my wife. Be looking at two of us, but I'm here, I'm sitting with her, I'm smiling at her. Whatever it is that they're saying, I'm pitching her, saying, she here, I'll be telling you. Just the excitement of I choose to be with my wife is another reason why a man will, want to go all out. But again, just know that one man comes in to class and other men maybe just passing by like, there's a guy in class, I need to sit down now. I don't think that the men need to be shy. I don't think that the men who come into classes with their wives or who run through the antenatal care process with their wives need to be shy about anything. She is your wife. She belongs to you. She's no other person's wife. There's no shyness. Africa is switching. In Africa, we are switching. In Nigeria, we are switching away from I'm shy about being the only person. There are women who are doing male jobs now. There are men who are doing female jobs now. So what's the difference? You have come to an environment where it's all ladies sitting and you are here with your wife. Both of you are considered one. We can't split you.
No.
So I think that part of that doggedness, so that determination to just enjoy that moment with the wife is another thing the men need to raise their bars on. Don't be shy about anything. It's your wife. Enter into that class and run the class together. That's what I think. But more importantly, I think that we healthcare providers, especially childbirth educators, need to say this to moms more often. Say to them, you need to be involved. Okay, you need to get your men involved, and men, please be involved.
I love that. I love how you just I feel so encouraged right now. Like if I'm a man, I'm totally coming to that motivation. That was a good one.
And I think
a good one.
I think another thing, just sorry to interrupt you. Another thing we need to note is the fact that when we share the antenatal care information, we need to be able to tell this mom what the antenatal care process in itself will do outside the childbirth classes. The antenatal care process does a lot, and the benefit is not just to the mother. The benefit is to the entire family. The benefit is to the husband and to the wife. So the entire family gets the benefit from it. First, you are looking at detecting any potential problems early. If a mom comes in and has antenatal care running, it's important to check. There's several things we're going to do. We're going to be taking a history. We're going to be taking a database lab work, the blood samples for lab work. We're going to be doing physical examination for us. So all of these details will help us find out if there's a problem. Now, if there's a problem, how does the man support his wife? How does he help her through? How does he encourage her if he doesn't have an idea? Do you understand? So the benefit is not just to the woman herself. Men are excited to have babies, but come on now. If there's anything you need to do to have that baby come live to you, if there's anything you need to do to have that baby come at his or her best, or interventions that need to be taken before the baby arrives, and you don't know about it, how do you then intervene? How do you then support your wife? So it's not a function of just the women. Is that okay? The entire family gets the benefit from this. I think we need to push the information out more. Yes.
Wow, I'm really getting very inspired on just really boosting, like it's for the men and women. It's for the men and women. And thank you
For
so
both of
much
them.
for
Yeah.
sharing that, because it's really for the men and women. I have two other things I'm thinking in my mind, but let me just say hi to all these amazing men that are here, because this is especially for them. Pata Demola, thank you so much. Mr. Philip Grobs, thank you. Happy Baby Hub, Big Josh Media, Meso.n6895. Thank you guys for coming. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment. This is for you guys, so we really want to hear back from you. We're talking about antenatal classes, pregnancy classes, why it's important for both you and your husband, for women and their men as well, that it's a family thing. If you don't know, then you don't know what to expect. And when your wife is going through labor and she can't talk to you sometimes, then you don't know what to do, right? Even though you have the medical professionals there, but your emotional support, your physical support, and these are things you will learn during pregnancy class and antenatal care. So I really like that. Thank you so much for sharing so much light on that part. So I two things I'm thinking in my mind. Having practice also outside the country, I'm thinking of how we work. So I practice more in a midwifery setting, in a birthing center, and in a home setting. So usually when a couple come to us for the first time, it's usually the husband and the wife, and we do all the stuff we have to do. Then we give them the next appointment. And during the appointment is when we do the childbirth classes for them. So they're usually both always there. Like, I feel like that's like the norm in my mind. Like, it's just, I guess it's just cultural, right? You bring your husband. Sometimes the husband is sleeping because then it's the end of the day,
But
but
then
they're
there.
still there, you know? And it's personalized as well. So I wonder maybe that makes a difference, because everyone has a slot when they come in, and it's both the husband and the wife that comes in. And I remembered when we tried in the practice where I worked, when we tried to I started teaching the class because then the main midwife got very busy and she couldn't do the classes, plus, checking all the stuff you need to check in pregnancy. So then I would just have we had like a separate like time for the classes, and they would still come, like both of them would come. But yeah, I just felt like I never like had to like emphasize like bring your husband, because the husband would just come. So that's what, like, maybe it's just a cultural thing that the husband and wife will come for pregnancy care.
In Nigeria, it's different though.
So maybe it's a cultural thing then. It might be a cultural thing. Yeah.
No, so
Because
let me
now
let me shed light.
okay, go ahead.
Okay, let me shed light on that angle very quickly. So in Nigeria, it's a bit different, and I can explain why and how. In this part of the world, before we had organized childbirth classes in private settings, it was majorly in government hospitals. And even in our terrain today, we still have a lot of government hospitals um, organizing antenatal classes. So apart from the antenatal care, there are the classes. But let me share how it works in these hospitals. So at 5 a.m., the woman is made to leave her home, and she assembles in the hospital before 6 a.m. to maybe take a tag or take a number, because there are loads and loads of women that are going to come into that facility that day. Now, when the midwives are ready to attend to them at 8 o'clock or at 9 o'clock, only those who are privileged to have taken a number 1 to 100, who have arrived before 6 a.m., are the ones that will probably be sitting down in the space that is available for women to sit. That's one.
Wow.
Two, no, I'm not done with that story yet. Hold on. Two, when the midwives in this public settings, in this general hospitals, are now set to teach them, they make them do like service settings, they clap, they sing, which is fine by me. They use that opportunity to exercise. However, the content that is dished out may not be as exciting or relatable for the men usually. So, you have content like, make sure you don't wear high heel, make sure you wear flat shoe, make sure you wash your hand all the time, make sure you check your breast milk is okay. So the content under the circumstance. They're very short. They're not detailed. They're, forgive my language, and I stand to be corrected. I know this is going to go out, but again, the content in it may be things that the men feel that they already know. So why am I coming to come and sit down with you to hear what I know? Meanwhile, I assume that you know, but you just have to sit down and listen to the midwives as they teach you. So the interest, there doesn't seem to be a drag. There doesn't seem to be an attraction for the men under the circumstances. And consider the fact that the woman has left that house since 5 a.m. has had to sit in that place from 6 to 9 before she gets attended to. It is after the entire explanation, maybe that they talk to them about nutrition, they talk to them about their hygiene. After all of these things are done, that's when they then begin to see the doctor. People, what husband will be available the entire time to see to this woman? They have jobs to do. They have work. They have to go and fend for the family. So they won't come in all the way and sit and be clapping or listening. And there's no attraction pulling these men to those settings. So I think that's a major foundational problem. Yes, ma. That's a major foundational problem. Is that okay? So, in my own opinion, however, before I share my opinion, however, these days we don't have private hospitals running organized antenatal classes. So these
Amen.
antenatal classes
We need
are
that.
on days, on certain days that the woman comes to class if she's available. Because if her husband is available, she can come with the sperm. That's why I said childbirth educators. The trend is changing. The trend is changing. It doesn't have to be the way it used to be before. It doesn't have to be the way we have made it happen before. Several things are changing. So we can push this information out and let men know, come. The information is more detailed, is more relatable. We have you involved. We have a role that we need you to play. Come and learn about that role. I don't know if you understand it. So in Africa, that's certainly not part of our culture. The women are the ones that go to the hospital. However, I want to say that our culture and practice is being switched now, and it's an opportunity to say to these people, please come out. We need to speak to you, man. We need to have certain specific sessions. I understand that in the US or in the UK, men don't walk away with their babies if they don't take a CPR class
In some places, yes. Not in the
in
US.
some places,
Maybe,
right?
maybe in some hospitals, but not where I was. No.
Okay. Okay. So you see, I've had to study a few places over the years, and I found out that that's one thing that happens. So outside the antenatal classes, the men must be there. But apart from being there, they bring them together to class. In case there's an emergency with this baby and your wife feels confused and is all rattled, here is how to step in.
You're right. And
Do you
with that,
understand?
sorry
So
to
the
cut you,
men,
Nurse Ricket. Do you mind? Do you mind if I caught you? May I caught you? Am I catching you?
it's fine,
All
ma. Please
right.
go ahead.
You're right. Because one of my friends that birthed from Nigeria in the US, she had said that they made her like if you don't attend antenatal classes, you cannot birth at that hospital. And she had to go
Good.
also
You
with
see,
someone else. And her husband wasn't there, so she had to go with a friend. So in some
a birthing
hospitals, it seems
companion.
like if you don't do this, no, we can't attend to you. Because there are some responsibilities you have to take as the birthing mother and the birthing father that we cannot, even though you've entrusted your care into our hands, that we cannot help you with. You need the information and the education. So you are absolutely right. There are some places that, like, if you don't just do this, excuse me, you cannot
You
birth
don't
here.
qualify to take the baby.
Yeah. So you're
All right, so I
absolutely
think that it's just something that needs to change. It's just something that needs to change in our time. And I think it's changing. It's just that the change is not loud yet. The change is not very obvious or very prominent. And 2022 is a year to do that, if you ask me.
Yay! I love that. I love that. And I want to say this
Yes,
at
please.
this point. What would you tell a mom that is watching at this point? I know we're not ending yet, but we will soon. But what would you tell a mom that is watching this conversation? And this mom, she's in Nigeria, and maybe a hospital is not offering, because I'm sure and I know for a fact, because I've done some researches, there are some hospitals that are not even doing it at all. And they have private hospitals because they say the women are not asking and they're trying to keep their cost low. What would you tell a mom and a a birthing, father, a pregnant father, a pregnant mom, watching this right now and thinking, so what hope do I have? I've already paid at this hospital and they're not offering these classes. What would you advise them to do?
Okay, so first, value for your money. Be sure that the facility you're going to register offers childbirth classes. However, if they don't and you're more comfortable with the hospital, it's fine. But online, there are opportunities to learn this, and this is what we have brought today. So I feel that there are platforms where and it's not just I and you alone. There are quite a number of childbirth educators out there on social media that are dishing out relevant professional information about childcare, about childbirth, the entire process. There are childbirth classes around now. So I think that parents, expectant couples should leverage on the information that's available. Some are paid classes, some are free. Whatever the platform is, catch and latch on one so that you don't walk into the intranatal session empty-minded. You like no idea. So every decision is made by your caregiver. Every decision is made by the doctor. Everybody says, this is what to do. You say yes. This is what we should do. You say, I don't know what to. The classes provide information that help couples to make objective decisions about their care. That's one of the things that the childbirth classes will do. So I think all moms out there should look out for what's comfortable for them. However, if they have to remain in that facility, they can request and ask, are there no childbirth classes? Can some be organized for us? Maybe 2, 3 moms can be brought together, 2, 3 couples can be brought together, and they're taught what they need to learn and they can ask their questions. Sometimes you need to be able to get information from your child, from your caregiver, so that you know what their protocol is. It's different in most hospitals, but it's important to know what their delivery protocol or childcare protocol is or emergency protocol. So these are things you want to ask. These are things you need to know. And sometimes in classes that are hospital based or facility based, these are the things that they will say to you. So I think such
Absolutely.
moms should request for that information and they'll find it.
I like that. Thank you so much for answering that question. So, to any woman, any man watching this program, yes, this video, if you have any questions, like I said, even if you're watching this on replay, make sure you leave them in the comment. We'll try to give an answer to it. And if you have any questions right now, leave them in the comment. We want to answer those questions. And I love what you said that any woman or any man watching this and they are in a hospital that is not providing childbirth education, ask for it because you could be the
Yeah.
change. You know that some other moms
Yeah.
that is not watching this
Yeah.
right now does not even know
Yeah.
you need it. So ask them you want something and they could organize something for you guys. And also make use of technology. There are lots of childbirth educators out there. There are lots
True.
of programs out there. Some are paid, like you said, and some are not. I would say though that it's good if you pay for something because when you pay for a program, you
We
there's
appreciate
just
the
something in
value.
our mind. You value it more and you pay more attention to
Yeah.
it. And it's
Yeah.
also more personalized for you guys, for your family and what to expect. Um, Mama Kukan says, please share these private hospitals. People do not know them. Well, I think we'll have the moms that have gone through this experience. So if you're watching this again and your hospital does not offer it, leave them in the comment. And it can also be just a thing for them to please, recruit a childhood educator to teach in their hospitals or even their midwives. They can also teach as well. Mama Kukon said the curriculum is shallow. You're very right. Please keep speaking. Thank you so much, Mama Kukon. We love comments. We love to read comments. We love when you guys are engaging with us. Mr. Osayo, I'm not saying your name right. I'm sorry. Welcome. Let us know where you're watching from. KDA, welcome. Let us know where you're watching from. To kind of bring this to a close, Nurse Ricket, I wanted to talk a little bit about what's the difference? Like, what's the big deal? What's the difference between a nurse, a midwife, and a childbirth educator? I am a midwife, and my midwives don't teach me that. So, what is this childbirth education thing? What does it mean? Educator.
All right. Nurse is one who is trained and licensed to practice nursing. Midwife is one who uh, is trained as a midwife. So midwife here focus is maternal child care. Okay, so midwifery. However, childbirth educator is different. And what makes the difference is a childbirth educator is one who is trained to share medical information in a way and a pattern that lay people can relate with and understand. One who is trained to give information that is relevant to moms at the different stages of their pregnancy. So, can a midwife do this? Yes, however, not as professionally as a childbirth educator will. A childbirth educator will be able to, construct a curriculum, will be able to dish out information in simple terms, in simple languages that the moms or the couple that is listening can relate to. Is able to organize classes in such a fun-filled way that couples will come in and they're like, I saw the way she was showing how the baby passes through that model. There are several things that come through childbirth educator that won't come through just a midwife who doesn't have the knowledge of putting a proper class together. A childbirth educator is one who is trained to dish out information of the particular aim in her mind, and if that aim is achieved, she doesn't relent. The midwife can superficially give the information. That's why we have shallow curriculums where midwives tend to give the information. Just give it overall and then you're done. But childbirth educator will be more specific, more objective, and more focus driven when it comes to sharing or disbursing that information.
I love that. I love putting you on spot. Thank you for answering those questions. It was great. Thank you so much, Nasriket. I just wanted to add
Thank
something.
you.
I think for me, it's almost like the difference between like a teacher and maybe your parents. Parents are teachers; they teach a
Jen.
lot, directly and indirectly, right? But teachers in the not hospitals, in the schools, why do you go to a school to learn something? It's
Yeah.
because they're trained to teach. They're trained to teach.
I'm trying to
Um,
impact knowledge.
Yes, they're trained to impact knowledge. Thank you for that. And even though you might be a doctor in something, or you might have a doctorate in something, but if you're not trained to teach, and maybe you're not even a teacher, you can do all the stuff, but you're not trained to teach. And yeah, I think for me, in my mind, that's like the biggest difference. Um, yeah, yeah. So I guess the purpose of why I asked that question is that if you are going to a hospital that it's just an overall thing they're teaching you, and you feel like you need more direct information, you need something just for you and your husband, you need something that you have questions, you yeah, you just want goals for the class, you need goals for the class, you need more direct teaching, contact a childbirth educator. And I think it's a not just it is a good investment when you're pregnant. And also I want this to be also a big thing, that people know that you can gift this to a friend. It's not just
Yeah.
it's not just uh, myself and my husband have to pay for this. When people think of what can I give to my pregnant family or to my friend that is pregnant, you can give a class to them. You can gift what sorry my low. You can help them pay part of their hospital bill. You could help them with things like that. And these are investments that they will always remember, and that really, really are great for them. So in closing, Nurse Cricket, any last words?
Yes, I'd just like to say that antenatal care, overall antenatal care is important. Every expectant couple should not neglect having to attend their appointments. Your doctor or caregiver would want to ensure that you're doing great through this pregnancy period. But in addition to that, it's also important to take childbirth classes. It's also important to take a class where you can learn all the things that you need to know. And it's also key that you ask questions. Don't be quiet. Don't be silent. You're experiencing something. Share it with someone. Say, I noticed this last night. Is it normal? So when it is normal, you accept and understand, and you have learned that it is normal. But when it is not normal, you can then intervene as quickly as you can, or as fast as you need to. Is that okay? So I think that expectant couples should not shy away from sharing their experiences or sharing concerns or sharing their fears or trying to find out about what to expect and how to deal with some of the things that they experienced in pregnancy. It's also key to know that couples themselves must learn to relate with each other. This is another huge part. Moms go through a lot in pregnancy. A lot of times we assume the men don't understand. I stand on the platform that men understand. My point is say it to them. Just speak to them. Let them know, honey, my back has been aching me since last night. If they need to take you to the doctor, they will.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're just having okay, we're back. Yay. Okay.
So whatever it is, couples should learn to speak to each other, especially the women. Learn to relate to your spouse how you're feeling. And the men, I beg you, just learn to understand how your wife is feeling. It's not all the time that we are in our best moments or at our best times. There are times where we are all tired and we may nag a lot. Just try and understand that it's very temporal. It's not like we are taking on a new nature and it's going to be permanently on us. No, it's a temporal thing. It will go away after a while it will go away. So I think that we should all stand up to the occasion of pregnancy. It's a stage, it's not permanent, but the support that needs to be created through this stage, everyone who's involved should put their hands on deck so every mom has an amazing time in pregnancy.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. And I think I would end my part with a story, and then I'm going to have you tell us how people can contact you if they need any of your services. So I just got reminded as you were speaking of so we teach childbirth education class with to every pregnant woman. And I remember on this occasion the dad, one of what we teach is how to catch a baby in an emergency, when your
Oh,
baby's coming and it's coming and you're not in a facility yet, it's usually probably very safe for the baby to come because they're coming fast and there's really nothing you have to do. They're just coming. Just make sure the lady is laying down so that when the baby falls, they might be very slippery to catch and they can fall on the
true.
ground and there's a towel or something. Just make sure they're not standing. Anyways, we teach that when they're closer to like 36, 34, 36 weeks. And this dad, he had helped his neighbor's wife. She was having a baby. It was sudden. The husband ran out of the house, was screaming and was scared. And this other man that has been with us and had learned it went in and caught that baby, and it became the talk of the town. But it was just so like surreal to see that knowledge is not wasted. You might not use it on your wife, you might not, but you might be able to help someone else with this knowledge. So amen. We say thank you. We say we need you. We say we're thankful for your support, and that pregnancy class, antenatal class, childbirth class is for you as well.
True.
Yes. All right, let's end this by Preggy's Arena, Nurse Wicked. How can people contact you if they need any of your services?
All right, so I'm on Instagram at Preggy Serena. I'm on Facebook. It's Preggy Serena. Okay, I'm reachable on WhatsApp. I'm sure that I would want you to do the honors of dropping phone numbers if we have to. But on any of the platforms, I can be reached on Preggy Serena, at Preggy Serena, either on Facebook or on Instagram or on Twitter. I'm available on all social media handles at Preggy's_arena. I think that's the correct address. Preggy's_arena. And thank you
Absolutely.
very much for this opportunity to be here. It's exciting to always get to relate with you all the time. It's exciting usually to talk with you. I appreciate you deeply. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
And to
Nurse
all our
Wicked.
viewers, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming in and spending time with us today.
Absolutely. Nosrike, thank you so much. I look forward to us
Thank you,
doing
ma'am.
something even more on more irregular basis.
Sure,
It is a
sure, sure.
cooking, but it will happen. I know it would happen. Thank you so much for honoring my invitation.
Thank you.
Thank you to all your friends that came. And looking forward to what 2022 holds, especially in serving women and their.
Yeah,
Have a good
yeah.
night. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama Kukan. Thank you for the engagement. All right, guys. I know Nospriket is still here, but I just wanted to say thank you, everyone, for coming. If you're watching this on a replay, let me know what you got out of the video today. I enjoyed it so much. It was such a blessing, and I look forward to having more of this. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel where I teach free childbirth education classes, make sure that you do. The link is in my bio right here on Instagram, and make sure that you share with a friend. All right, until next week, see you. Be the best that you can be. God bless. Bye-bye.